Free Grumpy Games.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Survivors of Sexual Assault podcast. Rape is never a joke. It's never a laughing matter unless it's with a clown. We're in.
And on that note, I'm Pennywise.
I'm Penniless. You're Penny Creon.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's good work.
I don't know, I've got shitloads to get to this week. So,
Right, I'll start.
go on.
Done now. Looked at nothing, seen nothing.
Boring.
So, it's been the Game Awards and PlayStation Experience, and you've done fuck all. Not even attempted to look.
I've been busy.
Does busy mean Fallout 4?
No. My future brother-in-law is currently residing in my bath. Right now he's having a nice long bath. He's been here for the last 2 days. My PlayStation's been on and there's been a lot of Fallout 4 played. None of it by me. That's right. I'm having withdrawal. That's why I'm having a delicious glass of whiskey.
Right.
Right, and I'm calming myself down. I've had PlayStation withdrawal. Haven't been on YouTube. Haven't been on my PlayStation.
Haven't watched porn.
Haven't been on YouTube. I'm watching porn now, like right now. So no, but in terms of other gaming news, I've been on some big walks with the dog.
Alright.
Excellent.
Do you know what?
How many shittios have you had to watch?
I can't. Oh, can if you? I can't get over the truly interactive, realistic experience of the countryside. The graphics were fucking unbelievable. I was walking the dog earlier and he ran towards us, and honestly, he was carrying this stick and it looked fucking real. Like, honestly, I was marveling at it. I couldn't believe it. When the wind blew, I swear to you, it was like I could feel it on my face.
Yeah. I've heard there's no respawn points outside.
No, there's not.
Yeah.
So the graphics were pretty
I
good.
heard healing's a bit longer than actual.
Yeah.
But it's just like survival mode.
Oh, right.
Do you know what I mean? It's like survival mode. I've got like instead of squirrel on a stick, I've got them in here. I think I'm gonna get them. I've got these lovely Fox's glacial fruits. I've definitely still got them. Where are they? Oh! I've definitely got some. There they are. So I've got these, and they're kind of like your health goes up when you have them.
I'll say, excellent.
So that's my gaming news. I've played Walk the Dog.
Do you want to go and have a lie down or something?
I'm alright.
I think you're in the wrong place.
I think I'm in the wrong place. Mate, do you know what fucked us up the most though? Not having a joypad.
What was like the Nintendo Wii, was it?
Right, it was awful. I don't think I'm going to enjoy virtual reality.
Alright, well, I guess I'll start with some actual
Well,
gaming shit.
most of my stuff isn't really concerning like the PlayStation Experience and the other one you said.
Alright,
So, I was going to say as soon as you'd start on it, you can continue, but alright.
go on, no.
No, actually, I've got some things that might trigger Andy, so it'll be pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's go.
PlayStation Now.
That's fucking shite.
And we're in, yeah.
This is about the PS2.
No.
Ah.
What's happening is it's kind of getting better value for money. I say kind of.
Come on, because you said this last time and I did the maths and you were completely wrong.
No, I've done the maths this time. Basically, what they're doing is they're now, because it's month by month currently, they're offering like a year's subscription, right? For as it stands at the moment, $100, right? Which I've had a look, 66 quid currently, which if you divide it by 12 works out at £5.50 a month.
That's still too much money.
Yeah, but it's like more than twice as good as it was if you're willing to fork out the money for it.
It's still not worth the money.
It's not something I'd pay for. I'm just saying it's there, and I knew it would wind him up.
No, you're not. You love it. It's your favourite.
You know how they're making the PS4 compatible with PS2 games
Yeah.
starting from today?
Yeah, you said this.
You can't put
I did know that.
You can't put a PS2 disc in
No,
the
no,
PlayStation.
it's emulation, and you've got to pay first.
I know that. I knew that too.
15. I think it's 15 quid
yeah. It's
per
ridiculous.
game.
So basically, what they've actually really done is it's not backwards compatible at all. They've just basically remastered games for the PS4.
All they've done is they put emulation technology on the
PS4.
PS4. That's it.
Crazy.
Whereas
It's almost
Microsoft
like it's
just
almost
went,
like
yeah, put
they
the
just
disc in.
love money, isn't it? Like above all else.
I'm sat with the gaming market now. I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm going to cut the middleman out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to save up a few £100 and then I'm going to just put it in a bin, shit on it and burn it.
Excellent.
Because I'll get the same gaming experience. Do you know what I mean? I'll get the same kind of, satisfaction, I think.
Yeah. So if you had a spare £66 lying about, that might be a better option for the people who are interested in PS now.
Put it in a bin, shit on it and burn it.
Yeah.
Didn't you heard it? You heard it here first, kids.
This is the thing though, it's like, honestly, the way, like, even if you've got a half decent laptop now, you could just fucking emulate everything. Like, even PS3 games are half decent fucking.
Of course you can.
laptop
But more to
player.
the point, you can emulate them for nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, anything like that's just.
The stupid thing. I think anyone who buys it, anyone who pays for it, deserves to.
And this is the thing, right?
Thing is, you don't even need a good computer. You get a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah.
You just fill it with emulators.
That's what I mean. And then all it takes is you plug a USB from your Raspberry Pi or whatever
There's a
into your lap.
magazine,
into your-
it might have been you told us about it a couple of weeks ago, where you bought this magazine, you got a free fucking Raspberry Pi on the front.
Yeah, it was $5.99.
£6 Raspberry Pi, there you go, done. Job done. Easy.
And then you just plug that into your telly, and then you can plug a pad into that. There you go. And you don't need a fucking PS4.
Convenience, money, and the fact that all my mates are on PS4 that I play online with is probably the only reason I'm still console gaming. To be honest,
Look what a good guy Phil Spence did. And he was just like, you want backwards compatibility, fair enough. Made it. You put the disc in and it fucking works. You don't have to pay.
Do you know when this whole new next gen thing started, Sony wiped the floor with Xbox. But now you look at the last year and a half, I would say, I just don't understand. Sony's just gone like, oh, we've won. They've totally took the foot off the gas and they just fucking.
Well, the thing is though, is they
So
have
how much
won
money
though.
can we?
Do you know what I mean?
No.
Like they've absolutely blew Microsoft out the water.
No,
whether you
because
like it or not.
you might be too young to remember. But like when you had this with like the PS3.
You might be too young. That was like what?
I'm taking this man. Would you like a nice, delicious Fox's Glacier?
I will,
fruit,
but I'm going to wait until I finish my cup of tea.
It started off the other way around then.
Yeah, Sony were in the shit after they announced the PS3.
Well, this is the
And
thing.
anything can happen in the next year or two.
Like, this is why they're saying like the Xbox One sales are picking up, and it's like, well, obviously you were going to reach a point of diminishing returns with PS4 sales because surely most people already have a PS4 now if they're going to get one. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But all those people who've bought a PS4 are now being tempted into buying an Xbox One as well, or trading in the PS4.
Well,
so it's always going to level
here's
out.
where my head's been for the last, up until about 3 or 4 months ago, I was like, as soon as I got the money, I'll get an Xbox One as well. I got my PS4 first because at the top of the run, which of the two do I want the most? I wasn't that bothered about the exclusives as such because the entire lifespan of the console is what I made my decision on.
Yeah.
So I got PS4, it's a better machine. And I always had this intention, I'll go and buy an Xbox when the price comes down and when I want one. And I maintain that was a good idea at the time. But since then I've thought, well, no, when I've got some money, I'm going to buy a gaming PC.
Yeah. Well, it's a better option, really, isn't it? Out of the two options that are still left here, that's the better one.
Exactly. I'm even toying with one of those fucking Steam boxes, like.
Yeah.
I'm toying with that because it basically is just it's basically.
Well, that's
let's be honest about me, right? You know me very well. Here's how my solution to technical problems goes. PC, my blue screen, or something doesn't work. I go through a few basic. Like,
have you tried turning it off and turning it on
I
again?
do all of that and I go through very basic stuff that I know. Invariably that doesn't work. I then start to literally strike my machine with my fists. Right? With things like fridges, washing machines and stuff that normally works. It's even worked with my boiler a couple of times.
Doesn't really work so much with.
But with software, with like hardware that's there to run software, I usually find that in the long run that has a counterproductive outcome.
Not even really the long run, really, is it more immediately afterwards?
I think Steam boxes are for people like me. I think Steam boxes are for people like me who just want to play a game. I'm not interested. I don't care about, well, you can do this with the PC. That's all fucking great, and I'm sure you can.
But you want it for gamers.
Just, I mean, you
Yeah.
can pleasure yourself sexually with a Hoover. It doesn't, do you know what I mean? Though, like, just because you can
Doesn't mean
it's appealing. Do you know what I mean? So it's like if PC people, want to sit and pleasure themselves sexually with a fucking
with Hoovers.
with a Dyson, I'm not judging them. Do you know what I mean? They can do what they want. It's their life, Hal. But the way I look at it is,
But
it's
I'll
like
take a good old fashioned prostitute any
yes,
day.
I'll take a steam box and a fucking hooker. Right?
There's that thing
I'm
as
not
well.
wrong though, am I? And the thing with the steam box is that I've looked into it a little bit more, and there's different levels of steam box, and there's different power, and some of them I'm like, do you know what? For your money, that's fucking awesome.
Well, this is what I was going to say. Gabe Newell's went on record by saying, like, if you were to buy a Steam box, the one that costs an equivocal amount to a console, it'll outperform current consoles.
The only thing I don't like
Like,
about the Steam
tech-wise.
box is the controller.
The controller's interchangeable though, that's the beauty.
But you can just use keyboard mouse.
Yeah.
So
You
that
can
would
use
do me.
keyboard, mouse, you can use a controller, you can whack. Apparently, you can stick a PS4 controller in.
Yeah.
So, do you know what I mean?
See, I've never-
How good is that? I play what I want to play on my PS4, then I want to play something on my Steam box. I want the same fucking pad that I'm used to. And when back in the, I mean, you're talking 03 or 4 was when I had my last PC. But I used to play shooters, I used to play a lot. Remember I used to put that Motorhead album on and play Quake? And I used to just go around shooting fools up to Motorhead. It was very good, fun. And I was pretty fucking good with a mouse and a keyboard, to be honest. I'm primarily, I've played with a pad.
Yeah.
So I'm good with a pad, I'm okay with a pad, but I do get that you can turn faster with a mouse and a keyboard. I don't think it's that, PC people are like, well, I can't really play with your pad because I'm used to a mouse and a keyboard. For me, I can transition between both because I'm not actually retarded. Because I'm not like special needs as fuck, and I don't need to wear a fucking helmet just to get out the bath. I usually find that I can manage a pad or a mouse and keyboard.
We've come a long way.
Mate, it's took time. I'm not going to lie to you, it's took time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, it took time.
He's in the
Turned
wrong.
out though, the problem was my last counsellor had a clown suit all along. And that's what we're talking about. And I survived. I was a survivor.
But you never even knew that he was a clown until, like, he took his shoes off and you realise he didn't actually have size 26 feet.
I'll tell you what, I just felt cheated. So it's like when you pull when I was a single man, you pull a nice bird and you get her home, just wearing a fucking padded Wonder Bra.
Yeah.
It's like, hang on a minute, this is false advertising.
It's not even padded Wonder Bras now. You've got your padded Wonder Bras, you suck your in stomach, you suck your in arse thing, or your padded arse thing.
So
if that's more
basically,
your flavour.
you get her home, you get her clothes off, and you realise you're about to fuck Shrek.
And she just fucking melts into this viscous pool of fucking sludge, and you're like, nah. These things happen, especially in pit lane.
But hang on a minute, you actually say no. You get them all the way. Do you not just do it anyway? Would
Well,
you not, like when you
probably but
I'd have just done it anyway.
Yeah.
Like if once I got to that stage, and I got all the truckers, I'm thinking I'm not going back out.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably would, in fairness. I'd probably just feel like shit masturbating about it afterwards when I thought of it.
Yeah,
These glacial fruits are quite nice.
it's delicious.
Yeah. How much HP do they restore?
20,
Alright, how many rads?
no rads.
I'll get in.
20 HP, no rads. Anyway, there is, before you get all your gaming news, you're not dodging the bullet.
Yeah, you've got
You've been
Fallout
playing
4.
Fallout 4. I want to know what your crack is, because he said to me, I messaged him, he was like, and I said it's a slow burner, which
Yeah,
it
it is. It
And
is.
he was like, well, it's not blown as the way I like. But I've seen you playing it quite a bit since.
I've been crafting. That's pretty much all I've done.
Yeah.
Craft.
Spend some time with just doing the missions and stuff though as well. It's like the first 5 hours. Once you get out the top left corner of the map,
I'm alright out there.
then there's way more shit to do.
So how are you finding it then? And just be honest.
It's, well, like I said, it's not great. It's alright. But it's missing some essential shit for an RPG, in my opinion. It's basically a first-person shooter with Minecraft attached. That's what I think of it.
I don't know if I agree with that, but I do agree that there's things missing.
Like, take Fallout 3, New Vegas as well. From what I gather is, if you started filling out your perks and that, you had finite amount, which meant you had to plan your character,
Yeah.
and that.
No, they were unlimited levels. They didn't have level caps, but you did have to plan your character the same way you're doing this one. That you got
New Vegas had a level cap.
You're right.
It
but
just
you
went up with the DLC.
That's
yeah.
right. You
Yeah.
could max it out if you had all the DLC. Yeah, you're right.
So if you want to play a certain way, you had to plan your character out and shit like that. If you didn't have the DLC, I suppose. And in this, I'm thinking, doesn't matter what I get, I'm going to get them all eventually.
Yeah, eventually. That's the thing, though. Well, like
You'll struggle
I'm with
at
you.
points of the game.
I'm
Once
with
you
you.
get like level 30, if you haven't planned your character to play the way you play, you're fucked.
Because this is the thing. You can't reset your points anywhere. So until you get to that point where you can start putting shit in everywhere, which you're going to be like level 40 before you've got all the stuff you want.
I've got a new criticism about the game that I hate, and it's in the RPG side of it, right? And I know it's a stereotype, but it's true. I know for a fact that the script writers were American, because the sarcastic button hasn't even once been sarcasm.
Steady on though, right? Just to play devil's advocate, would you agree that you're a very sarcastic person?
No.
So maybe then it's just that it doesn't live up to your level of sarcasm.
No, it's not like I am a very sarcastic person, but I also have an extremely high level of English comprehension, and I'm not fucking retarded, and I'm reasonably intellectual and academic. It's like Alanis Morissette. The only thing about her
Yes.
song "Ironic" is it's
Is
not
that it's
ironic.
not irony? Yeah.
Therefore, that's an irony, right? And it's the same thing with sarcasm.
Maybe she knew all along. Maybe that was the grand
No,
masterpiece.
she didn't. No, she
Maybe
didn't.
maybe she's a
fucking
visionary.
Canadian idiot. But fucking, you press the sarcastic button, and it's like not sarcastic, and
You can't be a dick.
And-
Why is there no repercussions for being a dick?
and some of the shorthand in some of the other options like X, circle, and triangle is actually misleading. You
Yeah.
say you go to say something,
And he says something
he says
different.
something, and it's like, no, I didn't want to agree with you.
Yeah.
I wanted to tell you
Yeah.
you're a cunt.
Yeah, I've found that. Do you know what other game series that had that really fucking bad?
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect was fucking terrible for it. But, like, I mean, obviously there's no...
The worst speech wheel I've ever experienced, and I still love the game, was Dragon Age 2.
Yeah.
The speech wheel on Dragon Age 2 was absolute fucking donkey's cock.
It's because they moved from what they had in the first one to copy Mass Effect, because it was the same company.
Well, the first Dragon Age was the best
Yeah.
speech wheel I've ever
It
experienced.
wasn't even a wheel, it was just a list of
No, but you
options.
know what I mean.
Yeah.
It was the best.
I would go
Um,
so far as to say it's the best Dragon Age game.
It is.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with that.
Totally.
In fact, I'd go so far as to say it's still, and it will always be, I think, until a few games will have to come along in a lot of years to happen. It's never going to leave my top 3 RPGs of all
agreed.
time.
I'd said top 5 because I'm not sure whereabouts it goes, but yeah,
for me,
it's
it'd
definitely
probably
top
be
5.
number 1.
Yeah,
It's definitely
you
top five,
you
yeah.
love it a bit too. But I mean, so with what you're saying, I think there's something missing, but I wouldn't go so far as to say it's a shooter. I don't think as much is missing as you're saying, but do I think it's flawed? I think, yeah, more so than you expect it to be.
I think what the problem is they've homogenised a lot of shit. What I liked about New Vegas is like some of the complaints that people were saying was like, because when in New Vegas, once you had like your stats at a certain point, the amount of different perks that got opened up to you was like ridiculous, and you're like looking through them like, which fucking one do I want? And for some people that's a bit much, but I really liked that. Do you know what I mean? I didn't like, I can now choose one of 4 perks. Do you know what I mean? I liked that I had 26 different ones to choose from.
Our friend Anita Sarkeesian and all of that fucking mob and all of these people who are like criticising about say misogyny in games or unnecessary violence or microaggressions and all that stuff. I actually think that that's had an influence on Bethesda's writers, and I think that the game is very neutral and tame in terms of the dialogue and how you can and can't offend and can and can't piss people off.
That's the thing as well.
Well, how I was saying last week, you can't kill kids anymore now.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Now that I think about it as well though, playing New Vegas and you could say exactly what you want to say and you scroll down and there'd be 5 or 6 options. You could be a cunt on that. There was plenty of things where a lot of the time it wasn't a good idea to go for it.
I always went for it.
Because it would just, like, that person that you're trying to, like, talk to who's, like, critical for your quest just taps the card. But, you know, you could actually just say something that would just make them flip out and fucking attack you.
Yeah. That I've tried to make people attack me in this game, and they can't. They just don't.
I don't like...
What I like about RPGs
They go
is
like
the
this.
chance
They
to
go.
piss people
They
off.
go. You know, like there isn't an option for this, but like, oh, by the way, I've just raped your children. Oh, that's unfortunate. But anyway, cause you cleared that nest of Mirelurks out for us. Do you know what I mean? It's like fucking hell, man. So that side of it, yeah, it's really poor.
One of my favourite things about Mass Effect was the Paragon Renegade.
Yeah.
Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah, yeah.
You had your Sith and your Jedi. Yeah. I kind of like that. Just going straight for the evil.
The problem is, though, is that, like, the thing with that is, like, it boils down to the whole moral choice thing, and then the problem with games like that, though, is there's no benefit whatsoever for being neutral. Like, sometimes you don't want to be a complete cunt, but you don't want to be a goody two-shoes either.
What? Sometimes you don't what?
Want to be a cunt.
What?
Never mind, we'll come back.
I'm lost here. What's he saying?
But, like, you don't get rewarded for, like, being just fucking... Do you know what I mean? If you don't want to play an arsehole and you don't want to play a fucking saint, do you know what I mean? There's no... A lot of the time, there's no middle ground. There's no thingy for it.
A what?
Like Knights of the Old Republic. I remember if you went the dark side, you started growing horns and stuff, didn't you?
Yes.
Which is cool, yeah. But in like...
And you got access to lightning and
Yeah, but
force
like...
choke.
That's the thing.
Everybody did that for force choke. That's why I did it.
But if you stayed in the middle, you kind of got locked out of the higher stuff on both sides. So, do you know what I mean? There was no... You kind of pigeonholed into going one extreme or the other.
Which is fine. It's certainly better than this fucking bland shit.
Well, yeah, but my thing with moral choice is that it would be nice to have like three options, i.e. middle of the road, arsehole, goody two-shoes.
Do you still stand by your game of the year
Yeah.
for Fallout 4?
Yeah, I
Really?
do actually. Yeah, I do. Because while I say there's fundamental flaws in the, a lot of the dialogue and stuff like that, I also think part of the reason is they've had to steer you certain ways because a lot of the storylines are quite depthy, and they've took you in that way because they can't not. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to deliver the story.
Some of the storylines in it are fucking incredible.
So that side of it makes me feel I can forgive them, and it also is the reason why I was saying to you, it's a slow burner. Because there's a lot of people who've made criticisms saying, I saw that coming, it's predictable. And there's things I've done in the main story where after the fact I'm like, that's obvious.
Have you finished it?
No,
Have you
nearly
finished
finished
it?
it.
Do you know what happens to your son?
No.
Yeah, I do.
I don't.
All right. Somebody spoiled it for us at work a few weeks
Right,
ago.
well, I
Right,
do.
don't
Don't
spoil it
shout
for
it.
me.
But that, right, after it happened, I was like, oh yeah. But before that, I wouldn't go so far as say, that was predictable, because it wasn't. It wasn't.
Some of the storylines
I
are really,
hadn't
really
predicted
good.
it. Well, I thought it would be something totally different to what it actually was.
I thought it was going to be something different.
Have you done the Cabot House one yet?
Yeah.
That's a really good one, isn't it?
That's when I was on about you last week, about the mysterious
Yeah,
serum.
Yeah, I've done that.
What did you
last
do?
night.
How did you go? Which way did you go?
I killed Lorenzo because
So the poor fucker gets locked up for 200 years and you fucking kill
yeah,
him.
but I was thinking about me because if you side with the other guy, you get one weapon, whereas if you side with the family, right, he makes you his weapon, and then the other one you can just pick up out the house afterwards. And I know you're going to say you don't get access to the mysterious serum, but for the time being, I'll just duplicate loads of it with dog meat. Problem solved. So I win every way.
What do you mean, duplicated?
Well, if you leave Lorenzo alive, whenever you use a mysterious serum, you can go back and we'll give you a new one. Yeah,
Aye.
you can dupe items with dog meat.
So you're just cheating then?
Basically, it's going to get patched, so I might as well use it while I can, because I'm going to make another.
How do you dupe items? I don't know how to do this.
Basically, what you do is you put it on the floor, and then you stand far enough away that you can tell Dogmeat to go and get it. Then you move a bit closer, and as he goes down to pick it up with his mouth, you pick it up, and the game like registers that he's picked it up and you've picked it up. So then when you go over to him, there's another one spawns in his mouth and he drops it.
Good to know.
Yeah. So like, but this is the thing. It's one of those things that's going to get patched, And there's a patch coming soon, so I thought, well, you know what? If I could never use it ever again, I might as well do it
I'm
now.
immediately thinking of what's the most expensive item I have.
Do you know what I've done it with? Do you know
They're communal.
the Your Special book in Sean's room for putting one in your stats? I've been duping them. So I don't have to spend any points in getting me special up. I can just spend them on perks. That's what I've been doing.
You're supposed to keep Your Special book. I think I chucked it.
Well, that's the thing. If you drop and pick it up again, it doesn't give you the option. But obviously, when you get dogmeat to dupe one, the one that's cloned hasn't been opened.
I'll tell
Does
you
that go
what.
with comic books as well?
I'll tell you what.
I don't know actually. I don't
I'll tell
know.
you what. I'm not going to use it.
I haven't used one yet. I heard about the.
I know that. I mean, there was a thing where Jason was on about, oh, you can spam this in your creation, and you just get. And I looked at it, and I did it for like half a level. And I was like, you know what, this is fucking boring, and it's going to ruin the game.
I've only used them a bit really. The only one that I've actually abused to fuck is the caps glitch. And basically all that does means I've never had to buy ammo because I just rinse them of their caps, then buy the ammo with it.
You don't, man. I don't know any of these
What's
glitches.
the caps glitch?
Well, basically, I found a better version of it. Originally, what you do is you make sure you have none of their... Well, actually, you don't need to, but I've been doing it this way. You drop some ammo, right, and then you buy it off them. The reason you drop it is because sometimes when you do this glitch, it merges them together and you sell them all of your ammo, so then you lose it. So I've been dropping what I've got first. Then what you do is, say you're using like 308 rounds. You buy all of them off them, but you don't finalise the transaction. Then you sell them one back, then all of them, and you'll have one of their bullets in your inventory that's there all the time. And you can sell that bullet back to them like infinite times, and rinse them of their caps, and then press thingy.
That sounds like way too much of a fuck off.
But what I've been doing now...
Well, what I decided I was going to do, I'll tell you how I do it. I got dead good at the game. Right? And then I like kill everything, and I take all the caps, and I sell all the shit I don't need, and I'm awesome at the game.
Yeah.
So for someone who doesn't abuse those glitches, Hal, you know a lot of them, like.
So
I've been putting videos of them on YouTube. People like that shit.
my experience of it so far is this. It was kind
And
of...
it's a Bethesda game, it's buggy as fuck. They all are.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
That is true.
I think I chose the wrong stats to start with. So I gimped myself
Yeah.
straight away. I thought I would go for more of the crafting side of it. And then when I found out I had to kill that is it a death claw?
Yeah.
In one of the first missions?
Yeah.
That took us a while to kill that fucker.
Did you not do it in the power armor?
Yeah, but I had 4 bullets.
Yeah.
Did you not get the minigun?
Yeah. I'd used the minigun before that.
Well, it doesn't matter if you've gimped yourself, because I went for like nearly everything was to do with crafting caps, everything, and making good gear. That's how I went.
Yeah.
And
I went high intelligence, high charisma.
right, well, high intelligence is a must, because the more intelligence you got, the more XP you get.
Yeah.
And then I got low. My low stat was luck.
I suppose
me too.
I suppose you would put loads on like intelligence charisma. 'Cause it's a fantasy game.
But I put quite a lot in strength because I'm a hoarder and I needed the carry weight.
Well, I've had to put extra. When I get extra points, I've been having to put them in strength instead of perks because I'm a pack rat.
Yeah.
Rats like that. You know.
My
So, I mean, I'll
strength's
put
only
it.
4, and
I've only got 1 suit of power armor at the minute. I don't know where to get. I found another one, but it's locked in a cage on a train. And I've heard you need to hack a terminal to get into that one, but my hacking's not good enough, I don't think. But no, it's not. It's not a game I'll probably play again once I finish it.
But if you're into doing all the crafting stuff, what I was saying about that caps glitch, like once you've sold them a couple of, like say, I don't know, you've pressed the button like 40 times or something, you've sold 40 bullets, and it says you owe them like 400 caps or whatever, or they owe you that. If you go onto their side and you press buy back, you can do that, and it multiplies it by 2. So with 10 more presses, all of a sudden they owe you like 200,000 caps. So you can literally rinse all of their inventory if you want, and not pay a fucking penny for it. Which I've been doing it to get the shipments of crafting stuff, or like stuff that's an arse on to get hold of, like adhesive. I've just been doing that.
See, that's what I've been reading.
genuine.
Everybody's like, "Oh, adhesive's so hard to get,"
do you not?
and I've got loads of it, but I haven't got aluminium. That's
Like
Right,
cans,
aluminum.
Here's another way
Cans
to
up.
play. Here's another way to play. If you don't want to be shit at the game like Hal, when you set your crops away,
Mhm.
grow potatoes.
Yep, I've got them.
Because this isn't any less tedious at all.
No, well, you still have to feed enough. No, this is nowhere near as tedious.
What, having to like go around and pick loads of fruit from different settlements like over and over again?
No, listen. Let's do this again in English. In your settlement, to feed your guys in the one settlement, grow some potatoes, some corn, some mud fruit.
Alright, I've got all three of them.
Stick a water purifier away.
Don't have one of them yet.
Right, stick a water purifier away, then you're done. You'll never run out of adhesive ever again. Because all you need to do, when you need some adhesive and you're at your bench, go and pick a few of them. You'll have plenty of water in your store, because you can set water away. You feed like water for 30, 60 people. So you accumulate purified water, and then you go to your cooking station, go into your utility, make vegetable starch. Put the vegetable starch in your junk, it breaks down. Each one vegetable starch is 5 adhesive.
Yeah.
Done. And no, that's not as tedious, because once it's set up, you've just got infinite glue, or I need some glue.
How do I scrap my items without having to drop them on the fucking floor?
Right.
Put them in your workbench.
Anything that's junk, open your junk with square, press triangle, it'll put all your junk straight in. Anything that's to do like armour and weapons, you can just do it at your crafting table.
Yeah.
Does your inventory in the crafting table, is that shared between all your settlements?
It is
If you
get
set
a
a
perk.
supply line up,
If you get a perk, we need local leader.
you need local leader, and then you
I've
can
got
set a supply line up. So you go in your crafting thing, and you hold the square button and you get that menu up. Go over, hover your mouse, you pointer over one of your settlers, and it'll say for supply line press R1. Hit R1, it'll bring a list up of all your other settlements, and then you
choose
just
one,
click.
yeah.
So every settlement, say if you've made Sanctuary Hills your main settlement, just send someone from each settlement to supply line Sanctuary Hills.
That's the way to do it. Don't go from one to the. Don't go in a circle like this, because there are some issues where, say, if you went like A B C A and then you did A B C D E A, right? The smaller circle is the primary one, so the ones on the outliers get left out. So you're better off doing something to sanctuary, because that way they're all connected to each other by proxy, but not directly. So you don't have any issues.
And why
aluminium shortage? Get the perk scrapper.
I've got that as well.
Yeah, I've got that.
Why is it that when I've made a store, assign somebody to it, they are nowhere near the store, they don't stand behind it? I've got to go like behind 3 different houses to find where they are.
I think I'm not sure what it is, but it's not just stores. Like, I found that people wander off all the fucking time. Like, there's this one guy I've got in Sanctuary, and I put him on guard duty, and I swear he's a fucking gem, because he's never moved from that spot, right, for about 4 months. But that's what I want him to do. He's on fucking guard duty. I set some other idiot up to do it, and I find him here, there, and everywhere, and it's like, well, you'll be a fucking fat lot of help if we get attacked.
They're normally at the store at a certain time of day.
So I'll tell you where I'm up now. I've got that synthetic dude, the old PI, the film noir guy. Yeah. So I've got him. We
He's cool.
made the dog
nice.
sniff about for some fucker.
I've only just done that, and I'm
Kellogg.
like level 30 now. Like, just off all the side stuff I've been
I
doing.
killed
So
that
you're
Kellogg.
looking for Kellogg. You've
Yeah.
killed
I've
Kellogg.
killed that Kellogg dude.
Yeah, I haven't yet.
Then I've
You're spoiling it for how.
Yeah, I haven't killed him yet. I found him, but I haven't killed him.
alright, and then I'm up to the part after that.
Yeah.
I'm way further than you. Like, I'm at level 54.
I need to do that bit though, because I wondered why like I wasn't getting any further with the Brotherhood, but it's the stages of that are tied to the main quest.
Correct.
So like once I've done that, then I get access to the next like lot.
There's a shock coming with the Brotherhood.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you anything, but I'm like, now I'm at this point in the story without any spoilers. I'm like, which way do I go now? Because you're actually a wanker.
Yeah.
All of them. I'm like, you're a wanker. I'm hoping that there's a way I can go totally solo and become like a despotic fascist ruler.
See, that's the thing. That's what I really liked about New Vegas as well, because it kind of sets you up as going, you need to be NCR or Caesar's Legion. But then you get further through and you can you can side with Mr. House, or you can just fucking rule them all with an iron fist.
Yeah.
And that's cool. I don't think there's any option for that in this. They don't really even set you. There isn't anything like that, is there? There's no like faction, like war as such, is there really?
There is in a more nuanced way. as the story progresses.
I tell you what, I am really enjoying though. Like I think the railroad stuff's like a really good. Like it's drew us in a lot.
It's alright.
I just kind of like it. I don't know. It just appeals to us.
Well, if you like the railroad, you're going to really wrestle with and enjoy what happens later in the story. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I say I like it better than the third one, but like I said, it's not. Wow. It's just.
But I
it's
think
alright.
that by itself is probably like coming from you at least. For whoever's listening to this, like all 3 people or whatever,
Us three.
us when we listen back to it, then that's still quite a like.
Have you listened back to any of our podcasts? I haven't.
Sometimes.
I never have, not once.
Mainly just to say like, because I've forgotten what the fuck we were talking about.
I just don't.
Do you know what I mean? When it's like when I get to pub like 4 days later, and I'll listen to one like 2
The thing
2 weeks
I have
ago.
with that is like, I just don't care what I was talking about. I don't give a fuck. Anyway,
So yeah,
gaming news.
Fallout 4.
I did want to know, honestly, mate. I just wanted to know what you genuinely thought about it,
well.
because I thought you've spent the money.
But that's what I mean. Like the way you're like that's for you saying what you have done is still
I was amazed you bought it.
It's still kind of a feather in the cap of Fallout. I think for you to be like all right with it, given that you're
Yeah.
normally very anti like Bethesda. So yeah,
There's one thing I'm really disappointed about though, and that's the lie Andy told us about.
What?
One of my biggest hates at Fallout 3 and New Vegas was everywhere you went, fucking loading screens. And Andy's like, there's any loading screens in this one.
No, I never said there was none. I said they were nowhere near as bad as Skyrim.
yeah.
And I also said like it's not every door. That's what I said to you.
It's every other door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got another
So
trigger
it's not.
word, Andy.
I never. What?
Destiny.
That really is. Fuck.
Is this the Sparrow race?
It is. It is.
Yeah, man.
Do you know how you're like, oh, what's the point of even having different speed sparrows unless they were going to do some kind of sparrow racing? Guess what's coming to Destiny?
Woo.
Sparrow racing.
Well, fuck me. Hang on a minute. No, I don't care. I searched my soul there. That's why I was so quick.
But yeah,
There was a lot of stuff about Destiny this past week, and I just thought, you know what?
yeah.
I think it's done.
Destiny can suck my fucking tiny little cocktail sausage pale blue cock.
Right. Pale blue,
Yeah, it's called.
not off
Oh,
grey.
I thought you just cut the blood circulation off.
Slate grey.
It's not slate grey. It's more like
It's a zombie penis.
you know when a worm dies and then it rains.
Right.
Like that's that kind of grey.
Paper mache.
You know the kind of grey I mean, though, don't you? Where it's like you can tell it's organic, and it's like, is that grey or is that brown? I can't tell. Like a beigey grey.
Yeah.
Yeah, with some blue lines in it. It's
Looks like a McDonald's bun.
like it looks like a McDonald's bun that's been out in fucking a storm for 4 days and then sat on Horden Beach for a month. So nice. Do you want to see it?
No.
Like, shall I get
No,
the
it's
cut out for
alright.
you on the podcast?
No, it's alright.
Thank God it's not a video.
What you were saying earlier though about sending people pictures of clock springs, what you could do is you could find Bungie's lead developer's Twitter and send him pictures of your beige grey cocktail sausage.
The flaccid dead worm.
Shall I do it?
Yeah, I think you should.
Wish him a Merry Christmas, the only way you know how.
I'll get on that. I'll get on it. Dear Bungie, here is my very below par penis.
So,
It
And this is what I think of
it
Destiny.
matches the quality of your gaming output. Regards, Andy.
so it's not Bethesda actually, but it's ZeniMax, because apparently Elder Scrolls Online's still a thing. They're given one, like,
Is it?
they've got a promo going at the moment, right? Where this thing that they've got on social media is 1,000,000 reasons to play. That's kind of like the strap line.
I tried to like that. I
And,
tried.
In
I
response
wanted
to
to like
that, they've got like this promo period coming up where if you fill up, like you go online and you register your name,
I've heard about
you play it during this period of time. It's somewhere after Christmas and New Year. Basically, they're giving one lucky player £1,000,000 just for playing in that space of time.
I'm not even listening.
Do you know what I mean? and apparently they're giving 1,000 people like runner-up rewards of like 3 million crowns, which is like the, well, you know what crowns are. I mean, 3 million is more than you'd ever fucking spend, but it's still a shit present compared to fucking like a million quid. But imagine though, I mean, this is the thing. Some cunt out there is going to be fucking really happy. Do you know what I mean? £1 million.
So, think back this year, and if you thought, what would be your best multiplayer game this year?
Multiplayer.
And then I'll tell you what won it at the Games Awards, because
My best multiplayer game of this year, does it count for this year? Because it's a re-release.
Yep.
GTA 5.
GTA 5.
I'd probably have to say the same, only because I think that's the only multiplayer game I've played this year.
For me, the only one would be Borderlands, I guess.
That was good, but I genuinely think GTA 5 was actually and is awesome.
Do you want to know what won?
No.
Splatoon, wasn't it?
Splatoon.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Nintendo Wii U game.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Nope.
Imagine,
Yes, I mean, yes.
Did you ever play Jet Set Radio where you had to graffiti shit on the Dreamcast? Imagine that crossed with a really...
It's basically paintball.
Yeah, it's basically paintball.
Kidding.
Yeah.
You've got to cover the whole entire area with paint, and you control the area if it's
you
in
know
your colour.
everything's fucking crooked now, isn't it? Everything, the whole game and media is crooked as
Well,
fuck.
in fairness...
It is though, isn't it? It's absolutely
In fairness to
crooked.
that, I don't think it's so much the Game Awards as it is, like, weirdly,
Honestly,
that has a massive fucking, like, cult following.
You know when people say things and then they get tested years later and like it turns out, oh, I never meant it like that, I meant it like this. And people quote mine them and they find when they've like, right, I'm going to say this without any, because we've got what, fucking 12 followers. But
Three of which are us.
hypothetically though, right, honestly.
13.
Yeah, baby. Hypothetically though, right, honestly. If in 3 years we're still doing this, we've got like 100,000 followers or 200, whatever. If we ever get approached by a game company who wants to pay us to promo their game, right? Honestly, and I can't say this any clearer than this. If you two agreed, I would quit. Because
What about if they paid us to review the game and we gave our honest opinion?
that I would do.
Because this is the thing, there's a
Right,
lot...
that I would do, but that's not usually what they pay you to do, is it?
Well, not anymore. Several years ago, that was the norm.
Right, if they put in a contract and said you can review the game and you can be totally honest, I would say yeah, fine, I'm alright with that. But if it was like, well, you know, as soon as I got an inkling of like, well, we want it to be further and that, no, nah, and I would fucking quit.
I wouldn't do that either.
Because honestly, right, I fucking hate the way gaming media's gone. And people are just openly admit now, yeah, I reviewed this because of this and I got loads of money and I had to say it was good. And like, there's not one fucking website I can think of now that isn't just a fucking shill.
Yeah. That's the thing though, going back to the Splatoon thing, I don't actually think that's a shill. I think it's just... Because look at how many people... I mean, we don't class the Wii U as
I
a...
honestly think if you don't think that's a shill, without any disrespect to yourself, I think you're naive.
No, but it does have a massive cult following.
Yeah, and this is the thing, right? We don't class the Wii U as a fucking console.
I don't class where you play as gamers.
Exactly, but
I'm only
for the
joking.
for the sheer amount of fucking
Classes,
units that
retards.
have been shipped, do you know what I mean?
It did
It's
sell
like
an awful lot, like.
basically in terms of games, they're shit. In terms of the amount of Wii U people out there with a Wii U, there's fucking stacks of them. Do you know what I mean?
Also, at the Game Awards, this was mentioned. I don't know if you remember this absolute classic of a game that was out for what I think Super Nintendo.
Which game?
It's a game so good that when I tell you it's coming back, you're probably gonna cry. So Shaq Fu.
No,
It was also on the Mega Drive. I had it on the Mega Drive.
No.
Shaq Fu is coming back.
It was meant to be coming back years ago.
Finally, a good gaming decision.
Because it was meant to be on the PS3. Because I remember watching, like Shaq, because he's been right into the development of it. Like he's been on board.
Hey, I
all the way.
remember this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it looked shit, didn't it? It
Yeah.
looked fucking awful.
It's turned into like a bit of a platform and fighting
Yeah.
Streets of Rage style kind of game.
Yeah,
now.
exactly. Like basically what it was before was it was your traditional fighting game. It was just awful.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And now he's made it kind of like,
Tongue in cheek.
Like
Yeah.
Shinobi.
Yeah, like hack and slash, like fucking Devil May Cry type thingy. Just run about killing shit. But yeah, it still looks awful.
Yeah, it does.
And Shaquille O'Neal still is an absolute fucking mountain of a man. He's fucking huge.
This one will be no surprise, but No Man's Sky won most anticipated game.
That's fair.
Best narrative of the year.
Come on then.
I remember reading about this and being like,
narrative as in best plot line.
Yeah, best
oh,
story.
it was like it was something. It was some shit that I've never heard of.
I'd heard of it, and from what I remember, it's a fucking mobile game.
Right.
Come on then. What is it?
So bear in mind, this beat The Witcher 3.
Which is disgraceful then, because that was
It's called Her Story.
Yeah, that's
Nah.
it. Yeah, that's it.
never heard of it.
Best indie game was Rocket League.
I'm alright with that.
I've just played that this weekend.
I know.
And I'm alright with that.
I love Rocket League. It's
Yeah.
great.
I'm alright with that,
Really
actually. I
Um,
mean, it's not the competition's not exactly like thriving, but
It's just ridiculous. It's just fun.
it's fun.
Yeah,
it
that's all it
works.
is.
It's a good formula.
That's the ideal definition of a time waster.
yeah.
I couldn't play it all day, but if I want to go on and just have a blast for an hour, that's it.
Best developer of the year, CD Projekt Red.
That's
Yeah.
reasonable, actually. I've got no.
Also, I'm assuming you know what got game of the year.
No,
Witcher 3.
Yeah.
that's reasonable also.
Again, I'm also alright with that.
There's a few games I could have got Game of the Year that I'd have been quite happy about. I'd have been totally cool with.
Good guy Phil Spencer showed up. He looked very baked. I don't know if he's been smoking. something,
Yeah,
but
good lad. Well, you seemed like a little bit disappointed when I couldn't talk through being baked last time, so I've decided to drink whiskey in this podcast instead.
So did you hear about Kojima was banned from going to the Game
Yes.
Awards
No,
by
I didn't know this.
Konami? Or
Really?
Konami, yeah. He was going to turn up.
They
and he
are
got-
just the actors of evil, aren't they, really?
He got a letter off their lawyers saying you're still under contract, you're not coming. And the guy who was hosting it decided to mention it and told everybody why he wasn't there and said that he was very disappointed.
Good.
in Konami, which I think was a good move.
Yeah, it is a proper cunt trick, that
Oh,
one.
right, well, they take his name off his own fucking game and then ban him from collecting an award.
Yeah, it's
Dickheads.
fucking
Kiefer
bullshit,
Sutherland had to collect it on his behalf. Best action game, Metal Gear Solid.
I'm alright with that as well. I mean, personally, it wasn't really for me, and there was a couple of, like, the plot was a bit thin, but it was decent enough.
I haven't played it yet, and I still want to, and I like the game, and I love that like teaser, that Ground Zeroes thing. Thought it was awesome, and I fucking love the way Kiefer Sutherland voiced him, and that had a lot of appeal for me, and I love the mechanics of the gameplay. So I will play it at some point, and I'll get right into it.
Best
It is my
performance.
kind of game.
Best performance. This person beat out the guy who did the voice for Geralt in The Witcher. He beat Mark Hamill for the Joker. Sorry, she. It was her from that Her Story.
What?
Fuck her from that Her Story. I bet Mark Hamill's fucking just burning pictures of her now.
So that was from the Gaming Awards, and moving on to Sony's PlayStation experience. They kept using this word, and I was thinking, you twats. They kept saying, it's an honour to be here, and it's very humbling to see you all. And I'm thinking, it's not humbling. You're just after our money, so shut the fuck up. But Uncharted 4 is going to get dialogue options
Wait
like
a minute.
Mass
Yeah.
Effect.
Wait a
and
minute.
everything.
Let's rewind a bit. Michael, how cynical. How
sorry.
cynical of you.
Maybe they were humbled by it.
Michael, the good, honest folk, and they just work hard for you. For your gaming pleasure, they don't care about money, it's art. When's Sony ever been about money?
That's a good point. So, Ubisoft. I was waiting for a groan there
Excuse
from
me.
Andy.
Excuse me.
Curse them!
Excuse me. 1 second.
He's going to go and take a picture of his flaccid grey worm and send it to Ubisoft.
Yeah.
What?
Far Cry Primal. To release the details of the collector's
Oh,
edition.
Yeah.
you know that?
There's
I said
two, isn't there? You've got your collector's edition and an Apex edition or
And
something.
the Apex edition is the digital version,
Right, okay.
where you get nothing.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome.
Fantastic, I'll definitely go for that option.
So in the collector's edition,
That's mint. That's really funny.
In the collector's edition, you get a map and a soundtrack. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah. That's alright, I like that.
Witcher 3 did it for free.
For free, yeah.
And then with that, you get a phrase book.
How much more money is it?
You're looking at about 70 quid.
So like yeah, standard like 20 quid more than your usual.
Right, okay, tell us what else you get.
Soundtrack, map, a phrase book, because obviously it's in some fucking dead language.
It's in primal language.
And an unbreakable weapon. That's it.
That to me seems like if your weapons can break, then having an unbreakable weapon would detract away from a core gameplay element.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that, but with much worse words.
Yeah.
Well, it's something like, that's fucking shit.
Yeah, that's gay.
Yeah. Honestly, what the fuck is it we used to today? Have you totally been like getting lessons of who was it you said, Darren Brown? It's like you're reading me like a book. It's like you're in. It's like you're in me head. You know what you made me feel like?
Inferior?
I feel like a puppet on a string.
Yeah.
I feel like a puppet on a string.
Like a little worm on a big fucking
one of
hook.
you has got your hand right up my arse and you're wearing me like sooty.
Sorry, I'll remove that.
Is that what it was? Because it's sore. No, it's been up there a while. No, honestly.
Next I'm going to subtly suggest
it's like,
you
and you know what? It's like, can you imagine being the dev who oversaw all that and created that and brought that bit in? Oh yeah, and the weapons are going to do it. And then they come along and you're going to have this upbrick, and he's like, fucking hell, right. 6 months of fucking work.
Yeah.
6 months of work. 12 months of work in what?
Yeah. I spent ages coding how much durability loss this weapon would take based on various points it hit, like stone walls, fucking enemies on different parts, what the enemy's fucking made of, do you know what I mean? Like scales or flesh or whatever. Just for some cunt to go, hey, I have an unbreakable weapon, it doesn't fucking matter.
Because we want your 20 quid extra.
So earlier this year, there was a game announced. I can't remember its name. But you played this shaman in like really old days, and you could like tame animals and take control and make them do things.
Tony Hawk's.
And this is exactly the same story as Far Cry Primal.
Yeah,
It's
you can tame a wolf, can't you?
Yeah, it's like Ubisoft have gone, that's a fucking good idea. Let's get something out before them, quick.
Wait a minute.
Am I being cynical again?
A little bit.
Shit.
Are you saying Ubisoft who just turned into a conveyor belt, Michael?
See, taming a wolf, it would be slightly more interesting if, I get the impression that's all you can tame.
No, there's an eagle, saber-toothed tiger.
See, all the traditional things, why can't you tame a pig? Do you know what I mean? Something shit. Like,
I'd like to tame a wombat.
yeah, exactly. That would be hilarious, sending the wombat in just to get fucked up off a crocodile.
A stoat. A wild stoat.
Yeah. I'd like to tame a water vole.
Yeah. Because who
Duck-billed platypus.
Who doesn't want to see a duck-billed platypus fight a grizzly bear?
Whilst wearing little duck-billed platypus armour.
And a bow tie. I'd watch
And a
that.
bowler hat.
Yes,
I think you'd suit a bowler
I
hat.
think you'd look great. I'd watch that. I'd play that.
Yeah.
There's a cartoon with a platypus who wears a bow tie and a hat. It's called Phineas and Ferb.
I'll have a look at that. Sounds alright.
He's a secret agent. Anyway.
Oh, there you go.
Well, how do you know? It's not very good then.
No. So yeah, that
Unless
was...
you're also a secret agent.
And you're double bluffing, making us
Shit.
think it's him.
Or maybe that now we know we also need to be secret agents.
I'm such a secret agent that even I don't know I am
Yeah.
one. Turns out while I sit at my table drinking whiskey and eating Fox's Glacier
You're actually
fruit,
working for the government.
I was solving crimes.
Yeah.
So you know who Sean Layden is?
The name sounds familiar.
Head of PlayStation for
Oh,
America.
right, yes, of course.
Yeah,
So he walks out on stage wearing a Crash Bandicoot t-shirt, and now everybody thinks Crash Bandicoot's going to be making a comeback.
People are so thick, aren't they? How can you be that fucking dense? You've got a t-shirt that says fuck Jesus or something, don't you?
Jesus is a cunt.
Jesus is a cunt, do you know what I mean? Does that mean everyone who sees you wearing that t-shirt automatically assumes Jesus is a cunt?
Well, he is.
I know he is, but, you know, for argument's sake.
Yes.
Of course you assume that. It's on a t-shirt. What's wrong with you?
Fuck's sake, how
Do you
are
not,
People are stupider than we give them
do you
credit
not
for.
understand how that works, Hal?
anybody who thinks that, never reproduce. Chemically castrate yourselves for the good of
I
humanity.
think you should go
And
to
there's
school
some
with
handy
pliers.
tips from Hal. I suppose we have to touch on this one, like, so the Final Fantasy VII remake. The
I
trailer.
think it looks good.
Not interested.
I hate Final Fantasy games, but I actually looked at it and went, holy
Yeah.
fuck.
Do you know what it is? Do you know, like, the actual gameplay of it doesn't... It looks standard Final Fantasy fare, but
They're getting rid of the turn-based fight.
what I liked about it was it made me think back to like when I first played Final Fantasy VII, like playing through like the Midgard slums and stuff the first time through, and it was really fucking atmospheric, and I was like, that's so cool. And then like watching that, I kind of got the same kind of vibe again, where I was like, that's really cool. I can see what they've done there. Do you know what I mean? And like, what's his name? Barrett? Is he the guy with the machine gun hand?
Yeah,
The Mr. T guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Barrett.
They've made him like hardcore as fuck, basically.
Yeah.
He is a fucking
He's
badass.
badass in the other game.
Yeah, I know, but he's like,
I'm not interested, mate, at all.
I mean, I didn't know whether I'd buy it because it is just Final Fantasy VII, but it looks really, really fucking
Do
good.
you know why I won't play it? You know how episodes 4, 5 and 6 of Star Wars got downgraded for most people to good films from like masterpieces because episodes 1, 2 and 3 were that bad. Do you know what I mean? Like, episodes 1, 2 and 3 were that bad, it kind of spoilt the other films for everyone a bit.
Oh, so you're saying that the newer Final Fantasy ones will ruin that for you?
Already has. I love Final Fantasy 7 and now I'm just like, oh, it was a good game.
Aye.
And it's like...
Turned into a bit of an emo-y kind of...
You know,
Yeah.
it didn't turn into a bit of an emo-y thing. It's an absolute
Emo-y
flat
thing.
out. It's an absolute flat out cardigan wearing, teary eyeliner smeared. Fucking. It's just a fucking awful piece of. It's just the most cry, whingy,
Yeah.
whiny, shitty fucking game franchise I've ever fucking seen in my life.
And we
Honestly,
found another trigger word.
I think,
Yeah, we have. Aye.
probably. I honestly think.
It's going to get to a point in 6 months' time where it doesn't matter what we say, he's just going to go, ah, and he'll be off for 10 minutes.
But can you not see how shit they are though? Like, can you not really see? Is it just me? You've got to understand that those games are for 13-year-old girls.
Do you want to know the last Final Fantasy game I
I
played?
agree with that.
Final Fantasy 9. I haven't played one. And this is the thing, 10 came out when I was in school.
Or 9's
When
shit
I was
as well.
when I was in like year 10 or something.
9's shit.
And I've been left school 2005. So I've been left school 11 years. So it's been about like 12 years since I've played a Final Fantasy
I feel
game.
old.
Me too.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it's not like I'm invested in playing them. All I'm saying is that like I probably won't buy it. But it does look really good.
Before we go any further, what's Journey like?
I haven't played it yet because I want to do it on
Mate, they're a
stream.
pretty good band. I just get sick of
I fucking hate them. They're a shit band.
Like,
Don't Stop Believing.
Don't
always gets
Stop
played.
Believing is way overplayed. They've done some much better songs than that.
Don't
Much
Stop
better
Believing
songs.
will be played on loop in my own circle of hell when I die.
Mine too, but the other stuff's really good. They're a good band. Why ask about classic rock bands?
So you know Randy Pitchford? Head
about?
of Gearbox. He introduced Battleborn.
He's been found fucking a pig or something.
He has. He also introduced Battleborn, which is going to have a solo...
Whoa, wait a minute,
Whoa.
though.
It's going to have a solo campaign,
He
a
didn't
co-op
just fuck the pig,
campaign.
He tamed the pig.
God.
He tamed
Yeah,
it.
that's how we make Far Cry Primal Fun. Tame it one back. Fuck it.
Come here, little goat.
Sorry to be so rude. What were you saying, mate?
Come here, eagle, I need a cornhole you.
I've got one thing to say to you. Oink, baby, oink.
So it's going to have a solo campaign, a co-op campaign,
I love it when you
PvP.
paw at me like that. Sorry, I'm totally derailing what you're saying, but I couldn't help myself.
And it's going to have couch co-op. And it's going to have 26 characters.
Couch co-op's good.
And one of them characters is going to be exclusive to anybody who plays the Battleborn beta, open beta, which starts in a
Don't-
couple of
I'm
weeks.
not really-
I
not really
I
cool
like
about
the
that.
look of this Battleborn actually. And it's going to be well. They're the guys. They're the guys who made Borderlands and stuff, aren't they? And they haven't disappointed me once.
Well, there's always a first time for everything.
It looks pretty good from what I've seen of it so far. I think
I don't like the look of it, if I'm honest.
it hasn't captured me hype really, but I think it looks alright. I think it'll be decent.
The thing is, the reason it hasn't captured your hype is because they're not fucking hyping it, which is a good thing. They're not like how many games, right? Have hyped the shit out of you the last 3 or 4 years?
Destiny.
No, everything. Not Destiny. Everything. Every like platinum title that's came out.
I think the better question would be like, what's actually hyped yet and succeeded in living up to the hype?
Last of Us.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Nothing.
Maybe Fallout. Maybe.
No,
I wouldn't say it's lived up to the hype, but it hasn't been a letdown. Let's say
that's that right. Well,
yeah.
see already you're shifting the goalpost to make your argument. You see what I mean? You've had to shift the goalpost to say, no, my point is this.
No, I'm not disagreeing with your point.
Good. They need to stop hyping the shit out of things.
Yeah.
So whilst this thing hasn't been hyped to death, I like the look of it.
Because you're saying like what hasn't hyped yet, but like this is the thing, you're correct in saying everything's. I don't think there's anything wrong with hype as long as it lives up to it. That was my point, but there hasn't really been anything that's lived up to it in recent memory, save probably the last.
The new Street Fighter 5. All characters are going to be unlockable by playing the game.
Sorry to go back again. Nah, it's untrue that. Amazing game. Fucking mint. Have you played that Her Story?
No, I haven't. I must be missing out on something. Have you played Journey? Apparently it's an experience.
I've just realised, right, that whole Her Story thing as well. Why is that cleaned up?
Her Story.
Anita fucking saw motherfucking Kesey in. That's why. That's all that's about. That's all that is. It's a total PR move.
Yeah.
All of it's just PR. You know, you hammer me about not being... There's a reason I'm not interested in gaming news like this sort of stuff. Because it's dog shit. It's dog shit.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what I've just realised? Do you know how we... Like, do you remember when we went to that CAS seminar a few years ago? The first one I went to. And we were sat in a fucking travel lodge. And me and you were talking to Mark about the news and why he doesn't watch it.
Yeah.
And all it was doing was getting him more and more incensed, and we were deliberately talking about the news in front of him to wind him up. Well, you are Mark in that regard, but just with gaming news.
Right, listen to this.
You are the same. Couldn't give a fuck. It's all shit.
It is all shit.
This is what Her Story is. Her Story is an interactive movie video.
Michael, that's great. What's the next subject?
Released for Microsoft Windows,
fantastic.
iOS.
Yeah. Oh man. I can't wait to play that shit.
No, shut up.
I'm listening to him.
And you have to...
Oh, that's awesome.
Shut up. You have to play a
yeah.
database of police video clips to solve a case of a missing man.
Wow.
Hang on, I've got about 4 words of that.
That's why I read it, because he's been a dick.
Who is?
You.
Oh, sorry, was that dickish of me?
It was that dickish, you could actually go and join Ubisoft and they give you a job.
Look how annoyed he's getting.
Don't, because that's my fucking phone in the case. It doesn't fit properly if you break my phone or crap.
That sounds fucking gash.
It does, doesn't it?
Go, do you want the side, read it out for me?
Well, in the game, players use a database of police video clips to solve the case of a missing man. That's it. It even says here, Her Story was well received, gathering mostly positive reviews. So that's not even like it was a whitewash of like everyone thought. It wasn't critical acclaim, was it?
No. So how that's won 2 awards?
Sam Barlow, whoever you are, you're a fucking cunt. I've never met you, but...
Her Story. I bet you any money you pound a piece of shit, it's a piece of pro-feminist propaganda dog shit.
I've got another trigger word for you.
If you two just had yours together today and you're like, Andy's been...
No, but this is the thing, right? It's one of those things that will initially set you off, but eventually you'll go, that'll be alright.
How do you know?
Because that's how you normally work. I'll say something and you immediately go, oh... Then I'll go, blah, 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 and you go, but I still think, rah, rah, rah.
Go on then, let's see if you're right.
That's probably the best Andy impression I've heard.
Yeah, I've got to be honest, I go back to you two motherfuckers are like Darren Brown today, like, because I feel like you're in my head.
So there's a new Nintendo console coming. So you wait for it.
Yeah.
Oh.
It better be good, it better be powerful.
Well, I don't know about the specs. All I know is at the minute it's codenamed like NX, but the new like head of Nintendo is on record.
Well, so far this is really old news.
So far, he's on record as saying that he's not building a new Wii U and he wants to move away from that technology.
That's still old news.
So it'll probably.
And then the next bit of news, and I'm going back months here, was that they released some sort of spec information and it wasn't going to be as powerful as current consoles.
Well, that's standard for Nintendo, though, isn't it?
But it shouldn't be, because at one time they were a powerhouse.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Not even for the past fucking, like, what?
20 years.
Yeah, they haven't. Do you know what I mean? I don't care if Nintendo's fucking third place. Like, I don't even care enough to buy a fucking Nintendo machine anymore if they moved away.
But it's a shame, because the SNES was perhaps, for its time, for its place in history, is still one of the most successful consoles ever made. Not
you
just,
know what?
Not
the N64 was as well.
Yeah.
Not just because of its power though, but because of how fucking groundbreaking it was, and because of how many people it switched on to gaming. Do you know what I mean? What a fucking machine.
Have you seen Mario Maker?
Yes, I have.
You know what? If that was on a proper fucking console, I would have bought it just for that, because that looks like it could be fun.
This is the thing is though, is what I like is it's just you get the tools, but you can play other people's, and there's some really like masochistic people out there. Yeah.
You make your own Mario levels up.
That sounds
And
awesome.
it looks like...
And some of them are like fucking ridiculously hard. Like, there's some of them that haven't even been beat yet.
Yeah.
See, I would play that.
Yeah. But this is the thing.
But not on a Nintendo Wii U.
My point was like, even if this new console comes out and it's back to a bog standard console, right? I'm not going to buy it. Do I think that it's a good move for Nintendo to get back to its roots and actually try and connect with games?
What I think you're trying to say here, mate, is
Have they lost it now, though?
even if they do a fairly good job of it, you're essentially saying it's too little too late.
Yes. But I think in terms of... it is for me, but for other people
yeah,
it might
is.
not be.
It is. For gamers, I think it is.
If they came out with something that was an utter fucking powerhouse, like in terms of spec, I'd be interested. But what would make me stand back is this fucking stupid closed door policy on third party titles and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, right, honestly, I mean, you're bored of it now. How old are you?
I am 26.
I'm 26, right? I'm
Fucking hell, I'm getting older. I have to think about how old I was.
listen, right, I'm 39. So
You're not 39.
bear this in mind when I say this. Bear this in mind when I say this. I don't want to play Mario again. I don't want to play Zelda anymore.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Thing is, if GoldenEye were to come out now, it wouldn't be on the Nintendo.
but
wouldn't.
it did come out. It did come out again, and it was awful.
No, what I'm saying is, if
If it
was for the first
never
time
existed and it was getting released now,
it wouldn't be
on
Nintendo doing it.
No, it
yeah.
wouldn't.
Like I say, like I used to be a massive Nintendo fanboy when I was younger.
So did we. We were, man.
Totally.
But like,
Mate, one of the best Christmases we ever had was sitting with a tray of beer and our other friend, Stuart English, and smashing the pieces out of his fucking... we just played the fuck out of his N64 pretty much all night.
I had 3 controllers for that, me, you and Sue was...
We were all on, playing together, drunk as fuck, and it was one of the best Christmases we ever had. It was fucking brilliant.
I mean, it might just be rose tinted glasses for me, but obviously, like, I was raised Jehovah's Witness up to a certain point, so I never really had Christmases. And the first Christmas that I had, I got
Can
an
I
N64.
tell you something? Your mum told me that they just told you that, and that the real reason they didn't buy you presents was because you're a cunt.
Right, well, putting that aside, the first Christmas I had, cunt or not, was I got an N64 and Super Mario 64, and I remember being like, fucking, like, I don't know, just fucking blown away by it.
See, that's like a magic moment for you in your childhood, though. That's like a
That's
piece
what I mean.
of magic.
I realised that it's like, it might be rose tinted glasses,
No, but
the
that's
N64
that's
was really,
okay,
really
though,
good.
But here's the thing, you can only get those rose-tinted glasses if the game was good.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? Because you have to become enamoured with the game. It has to
No
be
one
like...
goes, I really fucking
Joe,
I can't wait to
listen,
play that shit game again.
I know you think I'm a spoiled, surly, horrible, but I actually still like love the magic of like games and that whole thing of like when you get fucking pulled in your result. That's why I still think Fallout 4 is good, because I think it's that well written. But you pull in
where it falls down in other places, the immersion's what keeps it going.
exactly. And you get that, and it's that whole fucking magical childhood experience where all the bits are in place. The console's good, the game's good.
And you always remember that first time you played it.
Your mum stopped lying to you about your religion, and you realise, like, actually this is the first year in my life I haven't been a complete prick, so I've earned something for Christmas. Do you know what I mean? So all the bits were falling into place for you.
I also had a similar experience a few years later when I got a Dreamcast for Christmas as well.
Dreamcast, good machine.
Dreamcast was a fucking
Good
awesome machine.
Do you remember the Neo Geo?
I had a Neo Geo, mate.
What was your favourite game from the Neo Geo?
Oh, it was the Neo Geo version of R-Type. It was amazing.
Because there's 2 games from the Neo Geo getting remastered and coming to PS4.
Which are
King of Fighters 14
awesome.
Oh yeah, baby.
and Last Blade 2.
Yeah, both good.
King of Fighters still gets played. 14 still gets played today at like
Tournaments and
fighting
stuff,
game
yeah.
tournaments. Yeah.
The Neo Geo was basically an arcade
Yeah.
piece of hardware, and I had one. My Auntie Norma had the Red Star and same, and she's like, "Oh, you like your video games, don't you?" And and I was like, "Yeah, I do." All the kids who lived here before have left some. Do you want to have a look in that cupboard before I throw everything out? And you can have anything you want. And I went in. There's a fucking Neo Geo sat there and loads of games. I only had it for about 4 weeks, and then I sold it and bought drugs.
Bet you regret that decision.
No,
No.
I had my first acid out of that.
Have you seen anything of the PlayStation's VR?
Yeah, I'm
know
starting to
what?
get a little bit
Yes.
dubious about it.
So, Mark.
Not even PlayStation's one. Just VR in general. The veneer has officially come off. I
Yeah.
couldn't give a fuck now.
I don't know where I heard this. It isn't my own crack. I definitely heard it somewhere, but quite frankly, I can't remember where. But my concern with all this fucking virtual reality stuff is all these other third parties getting involved with sponsorship and this and that. And honestly, if I want a fully immersive experience, I don't want an advert for Farmville in the top corner.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's dog shit.
We should see the graphics on what they were showing at the PlayStation Experience. They look like a cross between Amiga and PlayStation 2. They were
I
terrible.
saw
I mean,
some-
some of them looked quite nice, some of them, but not all of them.
That shark demo that they had.
Yes, that looked nice.
Yeah, but it looks boring.
Yeah.
The thing is though, is that doesn't even have to be. You don't even need VR for it to be like that level of like looking nice. Like, have you seen that some dudes modded GTA 5 with that hyper realistic
Yeah,
like,
you're on
package?
about that. Someone's given him a job.
And like, have you seen it though? Have you
Yeah.
seen how good it looks?
Yeah.
It's like, if you didn't know better, you could mistake it for real life. It's that polished. It looks
Yeah.
fucking incredible.
Do you know the worst thing about that shark one? Have you watched it through?
Yeah.
Do you know the thing I get infuriated at the most?
Can't shoot the shark with harpoon gun.
Just how fucking shit a shot the guy is.
Yeah.
It's not a harpoon gun. He's just trying to put a tracer dart in it. But
You should see what
would
the
have been
lovely
better if it's not
Ubisoft have done for the PlayStation VR. I nearly puked.
Wait a minute.
I nearly
Wait a
puked.
minute. I know.
Wait, don't trigger him.
I know we think it's funny, but you've already used the U word.
But I
Stop
have to use it again.
Stop it.
They've made a game called Eagle Flight. Right? And it
Hang
literally,
on, wait.
you literally
Wait a minute.
an
Wait a
eagle
minute. Don't tell me.
flying-
Don't tell me. Horizontal scrolling shooter, like in the style of Commando from the 80s.
No.
Because the title's so vague, you see. The title's so artistic and creative.
Speaking of a vague title,
It sounds like a title for a fucking game you'd find on the App Store, doesn't it?
Is there an eagle flying?
yes. But speaking of vague titles,
Well,
there's another
Buttermilk
game.
Biscuits.
There's another game for VR called 100-Foot Robot Golf.
No, that sounds awesome.
It actually looks awesome. So your robots that are 100 foot tall,
Playing golf.
you play golf.
That sounds really good.
You're playing golf in New York, the city, and
Yeah.
you've got to destroy all the buildings so you can get a hole in one and stuff like that.
That sounds really good.
No,
That sounds
It
better.
looks fun, but that was the only game for the VR
A
that looked
100
good.
foot robot golf.
It might have been a 1,000-foot robot actually. I can't remember.
That's genius.
That does sound alright.
I'll
But
take
you'll
that
never
over
guess what-
Eagle Flight any day.
You'll never guess what you do in the game off that title, though.
Now,
So
this is
elusive.
it. Game titling now is getting so creative, isn't it?
See, the thing is though, is like we're ribbing them for that, but it's pretty
It's
obvious
genius.
what a 100-foot robot golf like entails as well, really. It just boils. It's not even the fact that it's so obvious. It's just that what it is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not that the title is shit. It's what it is shit.
But it looks really good.
It is on the title shit as well, though.
Well, yeah, but that's because of
It just
is
shows
shit.
such a fucking lack of like care for the game.
Well, it is.
It
It is
demonstrates
Ubisoft,
just like
isn't it?
it
The
demonstrates.
robots look like robot jocks robots.
In fact, if that's cool. Like, if they're gonna just start naming things for what they are, they need to just change the name Ubisoft to conveyor belt of fucking thoughtless shite. Do you know what I mean? Because that's
It
all
just
they
isn't
do.
that. Oh, I thought that's what it was anyway.
Anybody else got anything?
Games and shit.
I've got an unsightly rash.
Well, I'll have a look at that for you.
Can we make it a game though? It is a gaming podcast.
It's called Stinky Winky.
It's called Identify the fucking
It's called Stinky Winky. And
Scratch and Sniff Andy
it's
Foster
called
edition.
Stinky Winky, and you get the special edition, which is called Puss Fueled.
Nice. Puss fueled, not filled.
Fueled.
So,
Fueled by puss.
now what else?
I'm done.
I'm done.
I was done at the start.
I'm pretty much done, yeah.
On that note, I've
It's
been
been
Bye,
Pennywise.
bye,
Bye. Thanks,
bye, bye, thanks